Workers outraged as Grilled receives millions in corporate welfare. Let's have a look. Training costs. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Today I'm recording with a little one attached to the back. She's sleeping. Yeah, no. I saw an eye blinking. She's wide awake. Of course, someone's teething. So she's joining me for this episode. So there's an article I want to have a look at because, well, Grilled received $16 million for Hamburger University, while their workers were only receiving the minimum wage. Now, there's outrage about this, and I honestly think the outrage is misplaced. Let's have a look at this before we raise a few points. Thank you, Valeria, for joining me here. So, Grilled, and this is a posh burger chain, where they charge you 3 times for a Big Mac. And we can question if it's worth it, but anyway. Grilled receives $16 million in taxpayer funding for a controversial Hamburger University. Grilled has come under fire, and this is from news.com, under fire for a $16 million bill to taxpayers, which has left ex-staff fuming as they lived on minimum wage for years. Well, I mean, if the burger shop is entitled to it, this is the problem, guys. They would be at a competitive disadvantage to not take these opportunities, to not take the money they can from the government. The outrage shouldn't be at Grilled. No one should be angry at Grilled. The ex-staff shouldn't be angry at Grilled. We should be angry for 2 things. Number one, that the government is splashing cash around like this. This is our taxpayer money. And for those of you playing at home, let's just have a look here. We don't have money to spend. And the second point that I would raise is, why do you need to go to a Hamburger University? We are such a litigious society. You need pieces of paper to do every bloody thing. Soon you need a piece of paper or a license to wipe your ass. You shouldn't need a certificate for Hamburger University. You should be able to get a job in hospitality, work in it, and then get a reference. That's all you should need. We're not talking high-skilled jobs. You need to be good at the jobs. You need to be smart and able to handle people. But come on. Really, do you need a certificate? There's so many certificates, and it's all just bullshit. It's all just job creation, and it's, limiting people's opportunities to get into the workforce and to get opportunities and to lift up their status in life. So, Hamburger giant Grilled has reportedly received an eye-watering $16.6 million from taxpayers after signing up thousands of its workers to a government apprenticeship incentives program. So this is the thing. Everyone will be cheering, and the politicians will be bragging about their new apprenticeships that they're creating. These are apprenticeships in a burger shop. You don't need to apprentice in a burger shop, okay? Come on. Sure, a few weeks of on-the-job training, and you should be able to handle it. It shouldn't be an apprenticeship. It shouldn't be tax money going to this crap. And this is the problem. Our government just grows so big. They make so many bloody promises to everyone just to win votes, and it's shit like this. And it'll happen again. People will vote for this same rubbish. We need more apprenticeships. And I bet you if, Labour brought this in or whatever, the other side takes this away because it's stupid, there'll be outrage. All the unions, all the people who've built a career on just, rent-seeking off the backs of others and getting all this funding for this type of stuff will be pissed off. And it's actually going to be both sides of town or both sides of politics. It'll be the big businesses that actually have the capacity to take advantage of this rubbish, and it'll be all the political class and bureaucratic class that like to exist to maintain this. And then you've got all the organizations that provide this type of education. So the burger chain can pocket up to $28,000 per trainee through the wage subsidy scheme, while also paying the workers less than someone not on the traineeship. But, it's the opportunity to get in there. See, I'd rather we just ditch all this shit, all this bullshit, the traineeships, the schemes, even getting a certificate for burger flipping or in retail. Ditch all of that lower the wage, lower the minimum wage to allow more people to get in there, make it easier to hire and fire people too. Then we won't be tax subsidizing all of this rubbish. And then maybe, to offset the burden, we can take these savings that all these businesses are, hoovering up in tax money and then reduce the tax, increase the tax-free threshold. How about that? Get the government out of it. Because remember, this 28 grand that they're getting, I'd hate to see how much money the government actually has to get in order to pay that out for this program, how many people it goes through. It'd be depressing. Data released from the Department of Employment and Workplace Relations showed that Grilled has the largest number of apprentices under the scheme, more than any other business in Australia, and over double the number of organisations that come after it. Well, they're taking advantage of the scheme. I can't blame them. I can't blame them at all. I mean, it's a way to reduce their costs. Wow. But of the businesses that applied for the Boosting Apprenticeship Commencements Wage Subsidy Program, Grilled has 2,728 apprentices and trainees at the end of April. I remember back when I was in high school working my Woolies job, and there was a girl there who quit school early, like at grade 10, to do an apprenticeship at Woolies. And she was getting like $4 an hour. And I mean, if you want to go down that career path, but I think she actually wanted to go career, where I doubt how many people want to go career in Grilled. Because they won't hire internally for the senior management positions or to expand the business. They're going to go outside. Sure, you probably do a stint in there and then leave. Maybe. The business that came second on the list, Plumbing and Bathroom Suppliers Reese Group, had signed up 1,083 apprentices, less than half of Grilled's number. Okay, so working for Reese as an apprenticeship, I somehow would argue, is going to lead to more career opportunities for these people doing the apprenticeship than at Grilled. I'm just saying, you always need a good plumber, and you don't need come on. It's just getting stupid, isn't it? This is all because we've got such a litigious society. It's all because people want, forms and paperwork and licensing. It's so regulated. This is why when I advocate for smaller government, smaller intervention in our lives, this is the type of shit we need to get rid of. In 2022, the federal government announced the $1.2 billion wage subsidy program to increase the number of Australians taking up apprenticeships or vocational training. The government promised to pay half the workers' wage back to the business for newly employed apprentices or trainees to encourage more jobs. Grilled has received $16.6 million so far through this scheme, the Fin reported. So is this the scheme they implemented to address youth unemployment? Or is this a different part of the scheme? I remember they got didn't they get $100 a week or something off to it if you were younger as well? They had all these deals. And I understand why they wanted to do it, and I appreciate the fact that we want to make sure that youth unemployment doesn't get too high, because that has much greater impact than when us oldies can't get work. It comes after Grilled was embroiled in a wage scandal in 2019, where the burger restaurant legally paid workers below minimum wage for its Hamburger University traineeship program while receiving $7 million in taxpayer funds. Well, I mean, there you go. You can learn about grilled burgers. I wonder if they'll actually teach you any of the back end of the business there. I mean, here we go. You've got Grilled, then Reese, Metricon, Burncard Australia, Serendipity, 99 Bikes. So there you go. 99 Bikes? Okay. G8 Education. Wow. For a business to be eligible for the BAC, apprentices and trainees must have started working between October the 5th, 2020 and the last day of last year. Businesses part of the program are entitled to a maximum of $7,000 a quarter or $28,000 a year per eligible apprentice for wages paid in the 12-month period from the date they started. Grilled employs more than 4,000 people nationally, so at least 2,728 of those people have been newly hired in the last 18 months to meet the criteria for the subsidy scheme. What would be the staff turnover in a place like that? Could you imagine working in Grilled, particularly if you're earning real crap money? On average, Grilled has made about $6,000 off each employee. According to the Grilled Enterprise Agreement, last updated in 2020, the company pays less to staff training for a Cert 2 or Cert 3 in hospitality. Now, here's the thing. Should these even exist? Should those qualifications even exist? Should we need them? Or should we just remove them? This degree inflation. It's gone both ways. My degree now, Architecture QT, has turned into a master's. I got 2 bachelors. It's this degree inflation. And I guess it's this would be degree expansion. I mean, certificate 2. What's a certificate 2? What's a certificate 1? I mean, trainees are entitled to the same terms and conditions of employment under this agreement as employees who are not trainees. They will, however, receive a different rate of pay, the document states. For instance, an 18-year-old employee fresh out of high school will receive $17.20 an hour. In comparison, a new school leaver on a traineeship only gets $14.95. The gap widens the older they get. Workers over the age of 21 receive $24.50 an hour, while the trainee gets $20.40. Well, see, I mean, there you go. These are just subsidized. These are just taxpayer money going to people serving you burgers at a posh restaurant, guys. Okay? How much you pay for this? It's more expensive than Macca's. 2 former employees of the Grilled Traineeship program claimed they were told they would complete the hospitality certificate quickly and would receive a $400 bonus as a reward, as well as put on a higher pay. However, the whole process ended up taking years, during which time they were paid the traineeship rates. Both ex-workers were uni students who were not looking to pursue a career in hospitality, but claimed they were only given the option to sign on as trainees if they wanted employment. Of course, the government has created this situation where there's an incentive for the business to do this. And a Cert 2 and a Cert 3, I mean, how much would it cost for you to develop the curriculum for that? You could probably buy it off the shelf, put your logo on it, and Bob's your uncle. There you go. Kinsey McGregor became a waitress at a grill. I mean, why do you need a certificate to be a waitress? It's just experience. It's on-the-job training. We don't need to certify this shit. You don't need to do an apprenticeship in being a waitress. Come on. Oh, she's asleep, so I can swear. So, in Sydney, after completing high school, she claimed it took her nearly 3 years to get the hospitality certificate, which is the length of most university bachelor degrees. Oh, boy, yeah. I was at Grilled roughly 3 years. It took me about 2.5 years to finish the training program. That was really only because they paid us to come in for a few hours and complete it with a third-party trainer. Oh, okay. What a joke. Miss McGregor, now 22, eventually left the role in April last year as she felt she wasn't making enough money. I eventually quit because getting older, I wasn't paid enough for how much I was doing, she said, adding that some people were earning way less than what's needed to make a living. Well, these are traineeship jobs. These are just apprentices. You're meant to do your apprenticeship, like at Reese, and then go on to be, working for being your own plumber, starting your own business. How many apprentices do you know once they get their ticket, they may work somewhere for a little bit, then start their own trade, work for themselves? How are you going to do a certificate 1 and 2 in hospitality, 2 and 3? What, are you going to start your own grilled? Maybe, I guess you could. But I doubt they'd give you all the back-of-house operations. You're not going to learn about all the fit-outs and all the deals they make. Oh, come on. I know Valley. You probably can't hear her. She's not happy. She is now working at another job with a higher hour rate. When she learned that $16 million in taxpayer money had been shelled out to her past employer, she said, "That's not what I pay taxes for, OMG." Well, yes, it is. It depends on who you vote for. If you're voting for Greens, you're voting for Labor, you're voting for Liberal, you're voting for this type of shit, guys. Okay? This is what you're voting for. This type of intervention in the market. This type of overly litigious, ludicrous, frankly, approaches to employment. I mean, there you go. So, Jessica Odwan, who quit her job at Grilled at the beginning of last year, said she was told she would finish the traineeship within 6 months or a year at most. However, this ended up taking considerably longer. Originally, I was told the traineeship will be no more than 6 months to a year, the now 21-year-old said. About 18 months into my employment, I finally got off my traineeship, having 2 training sessions totaling 8 hours max. Okay. The government is paying Grilled to paying them to employ these people to do, what is it? 2 training sessions, 8 hours max. What a joke. I remember when I was at Woolies, we did this training. Oh, it was such stupid rubbish. I still remember it, like Self, it was called, or something, to put the customers first, and it was terrible. It really was terrible. And I went there because they paid me. But I'd hate to think now if they were getting any government money for that. Wow. In a statement to news.com.au, a Grilled spokesperson said, traineeships and apprenticeships provide qualifications and employment pathway for thousands of young people across Australia in a number of industries. Yeah, maybe we need to address that. Maybe the government should get out of these traineeships, shouldn't be involved in these apprenticeships. Maybe it should be handled by the professional bodies or associations, like in the old days. Just saying, maybe all the Guild of Burger Flippers needs to get together and administer their apprenticeships. Okay, wait. Can you do a chef? Can you become a chef at Grilled? I wouldn't imagine you get proper training. You need to go to TAFE for that. You couldn't do that in 8 hours, could you? So what are they learning here? Our traineeship program is accredited and administered by external registered training organisations, provided by each state and territory training authority, delivering nationally recognised qualifications and enabling trainees to have successful careers in Grilled and beyond. I honestly, I don't feel... Grilled are not the bad party here, okay? There's outrage. The workers are pissed off because it's a shit job, and they can't believe the money's being spent. The bad party here is government policy that's setting this up. Okay, that's the takeaway from this article. That's what we should be seeing. Grilled, they're just another business in the environment, in the free market that's completely regulated by the government. Can you blame them? Okay, some Macca's installs those little kiosks where you can order there. They don't need as many staff anymore. They've got 2 checkouts now. They used to have rows of checkouts and workers there. That's one way to reduce your costs. Here's another way to reduce your costs. All trainees who complete the Grilled training program are supported throughout their employment anyway. Up to 4 years. Up to 4 years you can spend on this. Wow. I mean, this is the thing. The problem is this is an entire enterprise and entire segment of the economy that's propped up by this. You can't dismantle it. There'd be too much outrage. If anyone tries to get rid of these apprenticeships, can you just imagine the outrage in the media? There'd be people protesting, and there'd be people shitty about it without any idea what they're even talking about. So, it's no secret the hospitality industry is struggling with staff shortages, especially experienced staff, as the business Grilled will continue to focus on learning and development to upskill our people to deliver upon the best experience possible for our guests. Anyway. 3 years ago in 2019, Grilled found itself caught in a media storm over its traineeship program, which allegedly underpaid workers. Well, no, it didn't. If it was all legal, it was fine. Okay, this is what you have to do. They got a certificate. They got their piece of paper. You've got to pay for it otherwise. Okay. I mean, let's have a talk about this one. Here's the issue with this. We're missing the point, everyone. There's outrage at Grilled. Grilled are just a business in the environment that we've created. They're probably highlighting the issues that's been put forward. They've got every incentive to just outsource the training to another provider and get the money. That's makes perfect sense. And then they're giving people these certificates 2s and 3s. This is what we, as voting members of Australia, are voting for. This is what we want. When you want apprenticeships, more money for training, more money for apprenticeships. It's for people as a waitress in a burger shop. Is that what we need? You know, I guess, I mean, all you need is a part-time job in a burger shop. Then you just put all your money into property while living at mum and dad's and build up your future that way. I mean, nothing wrong to people who choose to do that. I just would argue I would rather we reduce the tax burden on all of our citizens than subsidize businesses providing these opportunities. What do you think, everyone? Let me know your thoughts on this one. And do you think there would be any chance at all to reduce apprenticeships like this, or will the average of punter just be outraged, go into NPC mode 3, and just, anger, does not compute? Anyway, thank you all for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I find and discuss here, there are a few ways you can help out. You can financially support us via YouTube or Patreon. Use our referral links from Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. Buy our pocket squares. Call us if you need an architect. Or just support the channel. Take care, guys. Have a great day. And I will say goodbye, and so will Little Valley. Is she awake? Oh, she's teething. Poor thing. This is how I'm working today. She'll be good. Take care.